Africa, the story of humanity begins here. Long before cities, kings, or borders, Africa thrived. This is the land where the first humans walked. They learned to survive, to hunt, to gather, and to create. They tamed fire. They shaped stone into tools. They began telling stories. By the light of flickering flames, the earliest people shared lessons, myths, and histories. They studied the land. They watched the stars. They listened to the rivers and the wind. From these first footsteps, the journey of humanity began. Small communities grew into villages. Villages became towns. People planted crops and domesticated animals. They built social structures to organize themselves. Art, music, and rituals connected people to nature and each other. They celebrated the seasons. They recorded history orally through stories, songs, and dances. Along the fertile Nile, something extraordinary happened. Egypt rose. Pharaohs ruled with divine authority. Pyramids pierced the sky. Temples reached for the heavens. Egyptians mastered mathematics, astronomy, medicine, and architecture. Scribes wrote hieroglyphs that would last millennia. Artisans created jewelry, pottery, and statues that told stories for generations. To the south, Kush and Nubia emerged. They mined gold. They forged iron weapons. At times, they ruled Egypt itself. Their influence spread across the Nile. Africa was home to multiple centers of power. Empires flourished in West Africa too. Ghana controlled trade across the Sahara. Camels carried gold, salt, and ivory across vast deserts. When Ghana declined, Mali rose. Under Mansa Musa, Mali became legendary. His pilgrimage to Mecca dazzled the world with gold. But Mali's greatest treasure was knowledge. Timbuktu became a city of learning. Scholars recorded thousands of manuscripts on astronomy, medicine, law, and poetry. Education flourished. Songhai later expanded these achievements. Cities thrived. Trade routes connected people. Governance became sophisticated. Africa was rich in culture, wealth, and wisdom. In southern Africa, Great Zimbabwe rose. Its walls, built entirely of stone without mortar, stood as a monument to African ingenuity. The kingdom controlled gold and cattle trade. Artisans created soapstone sculptures. Society was organized and strong. Along the eastern coast, Africa reached the seas. Swahili cities like Kilwa, Zanzibar, and Mogadishu thrived. Merchants sailed across the Indian Ocean. They connected Africa with Arabia, India, and China. Trade included gold, ivory, and spices. Culture, language, and ideas were exchanged. Africa became part of the first global networks of commerce and knowledge. For thousands of years, Africa thrived independently. Then foreign ships arrived. Millions of Africans were enslaved. Communities were broken. Cultures were disrupted. Kingdoms destabilized. Colonizers drew borders on maps without care for the people. Traditional governance was dismantled. Voices were silenced. History was rewritten. But Africa never surrendered. Resistance endured. Queens led armies. Warriors fought back. Leaders refused to bow. From Ya Santa Wada Shaka Zulu, resistance lived on. The 20th century brought hope. Independence movements spread. Ghana led the way in 1957. One by one, nations reclaimed freedom. Flags were raised. Governments formed. Africa began shaping its destiny once more. Today, the continent pulses with energy. Cities hum with life. Entrepreneurs, artists, and innovators create. Technology, cinema, fashion, and music reach across the world. Africa is defined by resilience, creativity, and strength. From the first humans to great empires, from deserts to oceans, from centuries of struggle to modern rebirth, Africa's story continues. Every generation adds to it. Every discovery shapes it. Every voice carries it forward. Africa is the birthplace of humanity. It is the cradle of civilization. It is the pulse of innovation. It is the heartbeat of the future. Its history is long, its spirit unbroken, its potential limitless, and the story is far from over. The deserts of the north held empires of sand and gold. Carthage rose, trading across the Mediterranean. Scholars, merchants, and warriors flourished there. Cities were built of stone, streets paved with ambition, and walls that echoed history. The Sahel region nurtured great empires that dominated trade routes. Songhai, Kanem-Bornu, and others commanded wealth, power, and influence. Learning, governance, and culture were at their peak. Across Africa's forests, kingdoms thrived on natural resources and community organization. Societies managed rivers, forests, and wildlife. Knowledge of ecology and survival was unmatched. Artisans crafted tools, textiles, and art that told stories of heritage, honor, and ambition. Music and dance bound communities. Oral histories preserved knowledge across generations. North and South, East and West, Africa's people created systems of governance, trade, and knowledge unmatched by many parts of the world. Cities and kingdoms flourished independently. The arrival of foreign invaders changed everything, but African civilizations endured. Knowledge was preserved, and resistance persisted. From warriors to scholars, women to kings, leaders arose to defend their people. African ingenuity never disappeared. Today, Africa is young, vibrant, and rising. Technology hubs, art centers, and cultural movements reshape the world. Africa is reclaiming its story. From the first footsteps of humanity to the empires of stone and gold, Africa continues to shape the destiny of humankind. Its spirit is unbroken. Its voice is alive. Its potential is limitless. The story of Africa is not finished. Every generation writes a new chapter. Every discovery, invention, and idea adds to the legacy. Africa is the beginning of everything, and its story continues into tomorrow.